Hello everyone, I'm Angelo. As we all know, there are various trends in tourism and hospitality industry nowadays. Today, my focus is about the latest trends and issues related to sports and recreation. So, what is the difference between the sports and recreation? Let's define them. Sports refers to any type of organized physical activities such as soccer, rugby, football, basketball, and many others, while recreation refers to activities being done during leisure time such as walking, running, playing, and many more. This year, the spread of COVID-19 continued to affect the sports and recreation sector with some of the world's major sporting events were postponed and many recreational activities had to be stopped. I selected 5 current trends in sports and recreation. Trend number 1: increasing diversity. While most countries had to be placed in lockdown, traditional sports and recreation providers are also now competing with non physical sports activities that are available in computers, mobile phones, and the internet. Added to this is the rise of commercial sport and recreation activities such as indoor rock climbing and many other activities used to be done outdoors. Well, in my opinion, since many children and teenagers have likely experienced loneliness during lockdown, it is good to know that their favorite sports or games are accessible through the internet. Many of us were affected by lack of physical contact with our friends and families, right? Also, the boredom and frustration that we feel from being unable to do outdoor physical activities. And now, let's proceed to trend number 2: increasing accountability. I'd like to cite fitness gyms and restaurants as examples. The government recently allowed many gyms and restaurants to reopen, provided they will only accommodate 30% of their usual capacity, and also to maintain social distancing. Risk management and increasing cost of public liability insurance are areas of concerns for the sport and recreation industry. Owners of this establishment will be held accountable if they fail to observe the protocols imposed by the government. Also, owners had to take into account the names, addresses, contact details, brief travel history of their customers for the contact tracing, which is definitely an added responsibility for them. In my opinion, the gradual reopening of fitness gyms and restaurants means gradual reopening and boosting of our economy, specifically in the tourism and hospitality. This signifies we're heading back to our normal lives, slowly but surely. And for trend number 3, we have participation push. More than ever, there's a growing need to keep the youth participating in actual sports. It's a concerning trend that affects both their physical and mental health, and it also affects the companies who host events who are worried about their sales and revenue drying up. To encourage people to participate, the hosts or facilitators will have to give assurance that this is safe to join and that they fully observe the safety protocols at all times. This is where TV and social media advertisement takes place. As for me, we all need that extra push or assurance to believe that this is the new normal. It is our fears that makes us think twice to participate or not. That is why sports organizers are financing advertisements to encourage people to attend or join by showing they are practicing safety protocols every time. Trend number 4: rapid adaptability. In order to replace lost revenue that comes from sales of tickets, many huge sports venues are being converted into theaters, drive-in cinemas, or even restaurants. With fans are not allowed to attend sporting events, Some venue owners are finding creative ways to bring them out the stadium or arena. Best example is the National Football League Stadium, which transformed into drive-in theater for over 230 cars. They say only dead fish go with the flow. I would say we definitely need to adapt or adjust because we are not certain when exactly the sports industry will shift back to how it was. Still, there are risks, but in our pursuit to adapt, we sometimes have to take the risk. The staff and organizers, for sure, will take every precautionary measures to avoid any breach in safety protocols. Fifth and last trend, social change. As the sports industry gradually reopen, pay and play seems to be a trend for middle class and up. It means those who can afford to pay can enjoy their usual sports activity exclusively. Lesser crowd, more safe they say. Meanwhile, most sports center owners have collaborated with the government to initiate sports-related programs for the less privileged and out-of-school youth. Most us athletes also turned into content creators to stay connected with their fans. For me, COVID-19 pandemic will continue to have very considerable effects on the sporting world as well as on the physical and mental well-being of people. But I am optimistic that our ability to adapt to the new normal will surely help us to mitigate its negative effects. It will surely take time, but we will have to be patient, and I would suggest that we cooperate with our government as they find ways to ensure safe sports and recreation. So, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you like my video. Stay safe and God bless.